Nataraja, Jai Shiva Shankara Nataraja.
Nataraj, Nataraja, Jai Shiva Shankara Nataraja.
Shivaraj, Shivaraja, Shambho Shankara Shivaraja.
Namaste. This is a glorious morning here in the Ile de la Madeleine, and today is a continuation about the teachings on the timelines in relationship to concepts and values, because we are, in order to have a step forward in the transmigration aspect of the energy of the land and the energy of the timelines, we need to review under what patterns of thoughts we construct our reality, what we have taken for granted, and what is it ready for us to move into a more expanded ways. So let's say, let's review the concept of concepts and how we inherit those concepts. Usually the timelines are depicted with either religious belief systems, cultural belief systems, community belief systems, and family belief systems. So it determines how you should behave, what is the norm. Let's say if you are an artist and the norm is that you should go to school and get some education and have certain work, marry, and so on, then you are under the conceptual line of that particular culture. And there are manners that you should practice, there are etiquettes, there are what you should do in front of certain people, etc., etc. So all these concepts go into each of the chakras. How you should survive. So, oh, I should survive by working hard instead of just tuning in with the flow of life and grow with the synchronicity of your passion. The second chakra is, of course, the sexual things of what a woman should do, what man should do, what woman should not do, what man should do in relationships and in sexual behavior. And if you don't do that, then you are perverted, you have a guilt trip on that. So the exploration and the new influx of sexuality or energetic orgasm, for example, cannot be accessed. And then same thing with the navel center. If you are a strong will and you are an artist and you want to express something behind or beyond the boundaries of that timeline, then you are, labeled, you are out of your time, you are not understood, and that heaviness of the ones that have been trying to break through, especially new generations in the timelines that are designed to break through certain norms and so on. So it's a kind of the conventional part of the timelines against that urge of life to renovate new things. And when new things come, let's say in the navel center, then the timetable shift, the timeline start to renovate, start to grow with new ideas, with new inputs, and so on. And same thing with the heart. How do we love? How we, what is that we should express? You know, the whole, let's say, no, the February 14 is Valentine's, so we should send cards to our beloveds, and that's it. And if it's not, then you don't love me, or you feel resented, or so on and so forth. So the illusion of the sentimentality and the different kinds of expressions of infantile love, we acquire that as a concept, and we function under that. And it doesn't need to be in relationships. It can be also in with friends and so on. You say how I project myself, how I get accepted, how I express my love, and all what it holds you back, right? So, and what you consider good or bad. That is a concept. Another example is in your throat center. What is that you should say and what you should not say, what is proper and what is improper, and all the rules that you impose on yourself to build your identity. So this is another important part that in the throat, the concept, it just you don't give yourself permission. You just close the throat and you feel very shut down from your own expression. And finally is how you see the command of yourself, how the concepts impedes your self-guidance, how your intuition get diverted or modified because you submit to a conceptual value of your timeline. So when we are ready to release, or to it's release, but it's also kind of relaxation. When we're able to relax and say, hey, if I am not praying to the Virgin Mary, then I am okay. I'm not guilty. I am not betraying anything. Nothing will happen to me. Then that relationship to the guilt that that paralyze you, right? So when we are calling the transmigration, is relating to that releasing of concepts and values. And value means you're good, you're bad, you're worth, you're not worth, you're important, you're not important. That fluctuation of valuing yourself for how you respond to certain concept or construction of the mind is what tightens up parts of the central channel and, of course, the timelines on Earth. So if you can imagine that in 1700s, like I am here in a pilgrimage place on top of a mountain for this community. In the 1700s, this was constructed, and it was about creating an outdoor mass and to honor a visit of Jacques Cartier. So, not that it was in the 1700s, but the cross was put in the 1700s. So it really is a place where it holds so much of religious, political, and community values and concepts that it still is. The tourist comes and they have an admiration for what is the concepts of this land. But at one point, it has to go. It has to renew. It has to upgrade, and that is the process of transmigration, where the islands wishes to reclaim its own purity, like its free to partner up with life itself that has a much more organic, synchronizing way of life. Is not about following certain rules. It's about be guided by your heart, be guided by the present moment, be guided by the upliftment of, oh, I am here to do something, and that something is today and is now. What is it, my inspiration, that is opening the door to evaluate things differently? And in that you acquire great freedom, because the charge that you have put in those concepts and values start to losing and opening them the flow of the earth towards your heart, and the flow of the inspiration towards your heart. So, and this lesson is about reviewing what are the concepts in your life, mostly subconscious actually, that leads you. What is that you, when you have a feeling that, oh, I need to cross certain limits, and I need to express myself differently, but I feel that, oh, this have never been done, or this is not proper to do it, or what people is gonna think, or this is improper. That's when you know you are in front of your concepts. And just review the 7 obstructions, the 7 gates. Take one chakra at a time and see, well, what is my concepts about my ancestors? What is the concepts about me surviving or living on earth? How I do it, how I don't do it, what I see as an example, but I am apprehensive to follow that because I feel that I am not capable, or only that person is entitled to do that, not me. That's a concept. And review as well how the second chakra, how I am in partnership with creation, how I am understanding the life force, the prana, the earth, the magnificency of creating my life within a larger expression of life. So my little tiny life, my creation, is inside a bigger one. What is my sense of belonging? What is my pleasure in that sense of belonging? What is my desire to construct? And what is impeding me? So when you're in front of the probability, you are in front of a choice. And what is it that is holding me back? Then again, your self-assertiveness. How much willpower you have to move from concepts to convictions. And this is important. I should clarify this now, because concepts is something that is ingrained, that is fixed. Convictions is what you know. You are convinced that what is it you like, what is it you want. You are convinced of your values, your really truly spiritual values. What is it that is important? Your purity, your self-worth, and you protect that. You are not reactive in defending, but you are protecting in fully conviction your core values, your core what is important for you, right? So what you know. So that's in the navel. And also ask yourself, what is the way that you think that you should love? And what is the way that you should know or receive love? So in that tightness, you are able to make things more flexible. But again, is tapping from concepts to convictions, and allowing that conviction to move you forward with no apologies, with no sense that, it's a lot of work. Say, no. It's just the way it is, and this is what I know. So this is an important part. Evaluate again what is the concepts that you have about your communication. What is it you should say? What is it no you should say? What are you holding back? And what are you ready to make expression, communication to yourself and to others that is more uplifting, right? So in the transmigration process, when we talk about earth, is really to uplift from the timelines all these heavy old concepts that they just build one on top of another one on top of another one, creating just so much rigidity and a crust of heaviness in the land. A crust that the sky cannot come down and the earth cannot go up. So with that understanding of concepts and liberation of the concepts, we are able to have a different unity with the land and with the land of our body as well. This is part of the healing, and part of the application of the breath is to understand the process of transmigration, where you are not anymore in agreement with the concepts and values of the timelines, that you are creating as a master your own principles of movement, your own principles of obeying the values that are universal. You are not taking more than that you need, you're not giving more that is requested, and so on. So all these impeccabilities put you in alignment with the greater flow of life. So take pen today and reflect a little bit about your process of transmigration by reviewing the values and the concepts that you are presently operating, and present yourself a probability of how you are able to see your life if you don't have those concepts, if you don't have this tightness inside. So that's all for today. Let's start working with that. Namaste.
Nataraja, Jai Shiva Shankara.